So here at 7:30 in the morning, bright and early, it's Karrie Kenny from Central Bank. Good to see you.
Good morning. Good to see you.
You look pretty casual there. You got
It
your
is.
Central Bank jersey on there and your jeans. Do you guys have your jeans? It's a fundraiser, right?
It is, yeah. So the last Friday of every month, if you want to wear jeans to work, and most everybody does, you put in $5 and it goes to a charity of. We vote on them every year, and we talk about which charities mean the most to all the markets that we serve, that Central Bank serves. And to be very honest with you, February is Junior Achievement Month across our whole organization. So I think this last year we raised about $5,300 for different local charities just by getting to wear jeans.
So do you do that every month, a different charity every month
Yep,
then? Okay.
that's right, yeah.
That is outstanding.
It is, and we pick like local food pantries. There's just a lot of really great causes, and so the popular choice wins. So.
And every one of the locations is involved.
Yes. Yep. Every location that we serve on the last Friday of every month gets to wear jeans to work. So.
And you do have a number of locations.
Yeah.
I've got them here. Do you need the list?
I hope I don't need the list.
Well, it's right there if
Sure,
you do need
thank
the
you.
list.
Yeah. So our headquarters is in Geneseo, Illinois, and that's where it all started. I don't know, gosh, almost 120 years ago, and that's where Central Trust and Savings Bank back in the day started. And then of course you come this way, and we have Fulton, Illinois. I'm going to go backwards. I usually go south, but if you go Fulton and then over to Rochelle, Byron, Ashton, Oregon, that area, and down to Princeton, Illinois, Peru, Illinois.
You get them all?
I think I got them. Princeton. Oh, how can I forget Sterling, our brand new baby? About a year ago, we opened a brand new branch in Sterling, Illinois. So that one was a ground up build over right near the mall in Sterling.
So there are a number of locations and a number of employees, I would imagine. In your particular area, do you get together with some of the other people?
All the time. And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't very good with Zoom meetings when COVID came around. I had all the equipment and technology, I just didn't put it to good use until very recently when a coworker said, I talk to you all the time, but I just don't have a clue what you look like. I'm like, all right, I have this camera hooked to my computer, and so now I've gotten into those, and they're very easy. But yes, we see a lot of our staff all the time. We have employee rallies and that kind of thing. So I think across all of those branches, we're pushing almost 200. I think 187 employees is what we have throughout the organization. So.
And I could not believe this number, 1.4 billion in assets.
Our assets.
That's a B. That's not an M.
That's a B. Yes. And anybody who works in the financial services industry knows that once you cross that threshold of $1 billion assets, our friends at the FDIC like to be your friends more often. So we get regulated quite differently once you're above $1 billion asset bank. So everybody thinks of Central Bank and Fulton because I feel like that's kind of the footprint we have in this market, but we're just one little piece of that puzzle. But yes. $1.4 billion in assets is what we manage today. So
I know I have talked to other people who were outside of banking and then got into banking, and they were surprised at the rules, the regulations, the things they had to know and do to be a banker. Talk a little bit about that. You and I talked off the air about, I started the bank when I was a part-time teller the day after my 21st birthday.
I had some college, but I certainly did not have a college degree. But I just got to work, and I got to work through the different departments of the bank. So the technology has significantly changed, but the roles have not changed that dramatically, but the regulation, you need to take a step back and realize that the federal government in their role is just trying to make sure that everybody has access to the same banking products so that there's no discrimination and that kind of thing. I know it seems silly in our area because I very am confident there is not a source of discrimination, but we're just kind of insulated in the Midwest. I feel like in bigger metropolitan areas is probably where their focus is. But you've got to have a pretty good working knowledge of those regulations to be successful just about any role of the bank today. So.
And I would imagine with you, it's continuing education. I'm sure there are periodicals and different things, and you can go online and see what you need to know.
My job every single day is lending money to people to buy their homes and cars and that kind of thing, and that does change all the time. The products and the services that are available, yes, you need to keep up with those because it's changing all the time. Technology changes all the time. If you don't keep up with that, our customers, I give all of my customers a survey at the end to see, what can we do different. I'll tell you, 15 years ago, they all wanted more online capability. as far as applying for a loan and that kind of thing. And that has kind of shifted. It seems funny to say, but there is a demographic that does like that online presence, but I'm getting more and more people say they don't want to use the technology, all of the technology that's out there. They like some of it, but I think they've become a little bit nervous about fraud and scams and schemes and that kind of thing. So I get probably 90% of my loan applications right now are in person or on the phone. And 10 years ago, that was wholly different. It was online applications. So the great thing about Central Bank is that we have both access. You can come in person, you can call me on the phone, or you can do it online, whatever is convenient for you.
That is, I hadn't realized online has been around that long.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. When I remember our first online loan application, gosh, I can't even tell you, probably 15 years ago. Excuse me. It was so basic. You know, it was just filling out a handful of blocks, and it truly wasn't all that helpful to me at the end because there was still 40 more pieces of information I had to get, but we couldn't put it out there online easily. And now today, the online application is just absolutely amazing. It's very quick. It's easy. Your privacy is absolutely secret, safe, secure, those kind of things. So
I would imagine, yeah, people certainly concerned about that, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Again, visiting with Karrie Kenny of Central Bank. So if somebody comes in to see you in person and they're interested, maybe they've got their eye on a particular home, what are some of the things that they need to bring with them when they visit with you?
You know, and today, a lot of people have direct deposit of their payroll checks, of course. So we typically ask you, especially if you're real serious about getting pre-approved or if you found the house you like, your most recent pay stub, last year's W-2, you know, if the money you have for your down payment, if you can bring a bank statement that shows those funds, that's kind of the first three things that we get. And then we kind of dive into, and, you know, I do a lot of counseling, you know, how much of my income should go towards this house payment. You know, there's a static number there, you know, and I kind of walk through that with them. And just because the industry says you can afford that, how does that really fit in your day-to-day life? Because nobody likes to get to the very tippy top of what they can afford, because then there's not a lot of extra money to do the things you want to do to the house. There's furniture, there's, you know, blinds, there's decorations, there's paint, there's all those things. And if you don't have any money left when you bought the house, that's not a very good feeling. So,
do you deal with a lot of different demographics? I would imagine those just getting married, getting into their home, and those older maybe want to downsize?
Yes, we did. You know, I've been doing this for a long time, and what I'm dealing with now, and it's either making me feel old or making me feel good or both, but I'm getting the people who have paid off their first house and moving into their second house or maybe their third. I do a lot of construction loans for brand new builds. I haven't done as many first-time home buyers as I used to do, and I don't know if that's just me getting older, but those programs are certainly out there. So yes, absolutely, from the first time down to downsizing to brand new builds is kind of what we specialize all the way around in.
You mentioned auto loans. You take care of that as well?
I do. Yes, I do. Yeah. And golly, I mean, I just financed about a $90,000 truck, so that's about as much as a house some days. So you bet. Yep, we can do the cars just as well as the houses and just about anything else that you need to finance. We've got it. We've got the access.
Isn't that true? I mean, a $90,000 truck.
I said, I hope you drive this to the bank because I want to see a $90,000 truck. Can I just sit in it for a minute?
Yeah.
It was a beautiful truck. So
talk a little bit about Central Bank Fulton.
Yes.
I mean, you've got a beautiful bank there.
We do, yeah. So it was built in the mid-90s, and at that time, you know, there wasn't a lot of technology. You didn't have, you know, mobile banking and those kind of things. So the building is significantly bigger than what we really physically need today, but it fits us really well. And it's a very beautiful, comfortable bank to work in every day and to visit in person. So one thing I get a lot when people walk in, they always say, gosh, I didn't realize how big this bank is. And, you know, I think it's important, and our staff believes it's important that you walk in and you have a friendly face as soon as you walk in, and because it can be intimidating to walk into somewhere and it looks so big, and, you know, I don't know, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking walking in if you don't have a friendly face. So.
As you pointed out, you started out as a teller.
I did.
And generally, when you come into a bank and you walk through the door, you can see the teller is the first thing.
Absolutely. And I in my office, I can hear it every day. As soon as somebody walks through that door, they're getting greeted by 2 or 3 different people. And, you know, it's important to have that feel, too, when you walk in.
And, you know, it's good. I mean, you said maybe a little too big, but you're going to grow. You're going to expand.
Absolutely.
You're going to need that space.
You know, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because our bank in Fulton is a bigger bank as far as assets and deposits and loans and that kind of thing, but we have half the staff we had. And good or bad, you know, however you want to look at that, the technology, I don't know if I've mentioned this in other interviews before, but I was in a closing not that long ago, and I went out to make some photocopies for my guests, and I came back, and every single person at the table was taking a picture of their check and mobily depositing their check to their checking account. I thought, wow, that is a new thing I hadn't really thought of. So, the mobile banking has become very popular for everybody.
Sounds like my children.
Yeah, I know, mine too.
Coming up, we'll have a check of the weather.
It's time to file your 2024 taxes. Darzadan Accounting and Tax Service can prepare your taxes for you. They prepare taxes for individuals, businesses, and farms, as well as provide payroll services. Darzadan Accounting and Tax Service has an office in both Clinton and Eldridge to better serve you. Avoid tax problems by calling Darzadan Accounting and Tax Service of Clinton at 563-242-3577 and Eldridge at 563-285-8010 for an appointment today.
It's time now on KROS for the Storm Track 8 weather forecast, brought to you by Morrison Community Hospital.
A weather impact alert is in place for your Friday, especially as we get into the afternoon, where we're expecting strong winds, gusts up to 50 miles an hour. Mostly sunny skies will push temperatures into the low 60s this afternoon. Those temperatures will drop into the mid-20s tonight as gusty winds continue. With your Storm Track 8 weather impact forecast, I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky.
Currently, we have fair skies and a temperature of 42 degrees. Winds are out of the southwest at 15 miles an hour. This weather report on KROS has been brought to you by Morrison Community Hospital.
The Morrison Community Hospital would like to welcome Dr. Puragala to their surgical team. Dr. Puragala is a highly skilled neurosurgeon with expertise in treating conditions related to the spine and nervous system. He specializes in relief from back and neck pain, and he performs minimally invasive and robotic surgeries to reduce hospital stays and get back on the path to good health. Call Morrison Community Hospital 815-772-5511 to make an appointment with Dr. Puragala.
Metform in Savannah is currently hiring CNC operators with multiple shift options and forming operators and maintenance techs. The forming operators and maintenance tech positions offer a $1,000 sign-on bonus. Come join the Metform team today. Apply online at metformjobs.com or indeed.com. For more information, call Human Resources at 815-273-1361.
Kicking off Ladies' Day with Karrie Kenny of Central Bank of Fulton. Of course, we talked a lot about the banking in the first part of our segment, but you're very active in the community. You're a fun person, as a matter of fact.
Well, I'll tell you, a handful of years ago, the superintendent of our schools, Daryl Hogue, called a handful of us together and just said, we don't have our own chamber, and we're all part of Grow Clinton, which is great, and they do wonderful things, no doubt, but we don't really have a chamber of commerce, and we didn't have a lot going on with tourism director and that kind of thing, so we kind of created this Fulton Fun Crew, and we just made up our own name, and we're now a 501c3 with our own tax ID number and all that stuff, but our goal was just to try to keep Fulton relevant as far as activities and fun things to do throughout the year. So it started out 3 or 4 years ago with just 3 events, June, July, and August, a lot like Finally Friday. And we kind of narrowed down Tuesday was a day that we wouldn't interfere with other activities. And so it became totally Tuesday. And it is a mini version of Finally Fridays. There's food trucks and there's live music, and we've incorporated now a beer garden over the years and bounce houses for the kids. And it's just awesome. And that has blossomed into a different event every single month. And we had a bowling event for the kids and the adults in February. We've got a St. Patty's Day sip and shop event coming up. We've got a Easter egg hunt coming. We've got and it's all because of input from people. Hey, you guys should look at this, and can you pull off that, and that kind of thing. So I'm also very active with our Fulton Kiwanis Club. It's the last service club left in Fulton today. And we're a very busy club, and it's a great group of people.
So how often do you meet? Where do you guys meet?
Our Fulton Kiwanis meets twice a month, the first and the third Tuesday of each month at noon, over in Fulton at the old Fulton Journal building. It's called the Gatherings. It's kind of an event venue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we meet there, and then from there we meet when we need to do all those service projects. So
I haven't been in that building since it was the Fulton Press. I had to go in and see Hank Kramer on something. But what's it like there
it's
inside
beautiful.
now?
There's an antique shop in the front portion of it, and then there's a meeting space in the back, and it's all been refinished and refurbished, and it's just beautiful. It'd be a great place to host a baby shower, a small wedding shower, that kind of thing. So that's where we hold our meetings, and we bring in our club president and secretary, make lunch for all of us each meeting, and it's just a nice place to meet. And
Totally Tuesday, will this be the third or fourth year for that?
golly, I think this is gonna be the fourth year for it. Yeah,
and
yeah.
you originally started in that old park.
Yep.
But now you're out at Drives Park,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And you got a band shell
We
yet?
do. So a year or so ago, our Fulton Kiwanis, through some fundraising at the Queen of Hearts drawing over at Kingpins, we raised money, and the Kiwanis was good enough to earmark some money to help get that band shell going. So with those funds plus money from the city of Fulton, we've built a band shell. And if you've ever been to DeWitt, it is their blueprint. We use their blueprint to design it. So it's a big stage for bands and all kinds of things.
Well, you got a song you want to play, and
Yeah.
a little bit of a story behind it as
Yes.
well.
So sometimes on the weekends when my husband and I are just relaxing and enjoying each other's company, we play a lot of music. We just love music. And if we get stuck on what music to listen to, we always fall back on, well, what's the first band you ever saw live? And so my first concert I ever got to go to when I was a senior in high school was the Outfield down in the Quad Cities. So I have forever been an Outfield fan. So that's how we picked the song.
And the song?
Rinse, give it the super treatment at Super Wash Car Wash. With our state-of-the-art equipment, eco-friendly cleaning solutions, and fast-friendly service, we make sure your ride gets the shine it deserves. Why settle for less? At Super Wash, we're all about quality, convenience, and care. From basic washes to full-service packages, we've got something for every car and every budget. Come visit Super Wash Car Wash today. Your car will look amazing, and you'll feel great knowing it's cleaned with the best. Super Wash, where your car gets the royal treatment. 1414 North 2nd Street, Clinton.
Gonna wrap thing. Carrie want to know if I'm still running. No, I'm a walker now.
That's okay. Walking's good.
Walking along.
Absolutely.
You don't get as sweaty. I noticed that.
I actually went for my first run of the season here a couple of nights ago, and I got sweaty. I'm like, okay, this tells me I haven't done this enough.
So we're going to wrap things up with you. Talk a little bit more about the industry, the banking rates
Yeah.
you want to talk about.
Yeah, I think that, especially in the mortgage world, we got so accustomed to the 2s, 3s, 4% interest rate on mortgage loans a handful of more years ago, and they're gone. I don't know if we're ever going to see those again. Maybe we will. Things always go in cycles. But I remember quoting the first 6.5% or 7% mortgage rate, and I could hardly say it out loud because it was stunning. But they've been here now for a while, and I if I knew, I'd be a millionaire. I don't know where those rates are going, but I do kind of feel like, based on what I read and see, I think those rates are here to stay for a while. So I do think they're normal. Like I said, we all got used to the lower, but I remember a time when we were doing them in the 10% range too, and that wasn't shocking back then. So I think this 6 and 7 is probably the new norm for a little while.
Again, appreciate you coming in. If people would like to find out more
Yes.
about Central Bank, how can they do that, Carrie?
Well, we'd love to have you come visit us at our big, beautiful bank in Fulton. But if you can't make it, you can find us on our website. It's central-bank.com. We have a Facebook page as well. You can find us there. Give us a call over at Fulton at 589-3232.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
We need to help young people develop more grit. I'm Cooper Lawrence, health and wellness expert. This is all well and good. Boys especially benefit from a new program that can help them improve their self-confidence and a mindset focused on success. The program is called I Can, and it's specifically designed to increase grit and self-efficacy, which contributes to success. If you can help awaken their belief in themselves, or flip the switch, as researchers call it, statistically, boys generally perform worse in school than girls and are more likely to lack self-control. The potential for improvement is therefore greater. Many young people struggle with school and mental health issues. Teaching teenage boys an I can attitude and building their success mindset can set them up for life. I'm Cooper Lawrence, and this is all well and good.
At Progressive, we're making things even easier. We'll help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you can save on both. Learn more at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Scoop up the savings this week at Fairway in Clinton. Select varieties of 48-ounce Fairway Premium Ice Cream, just $2.98. Limit 1. All natural butterfly pork chops, $2.88 a pound. 14-ounce bacon wrapped stuffed chicken breast, $5.98. And a 20